Understood. Based on your guidelines, I will craft a 1900-word, paragraph-only script in clear, modern English. It will follow a compelling narrative structure, tailored for a faceless YouTube format. No AI-sounding phrases, no scene directions, and a smooth documentary-style flow with strong viewer engagement throughout. I'll begin writing the script now and deliver it shortly. On February 18, 2001, the racing world stopped. The Daytona 500, NASCAR's biggest event, had everything going for it: excitement, speed, and high expectations. But instead of ending with a celebration, it ended in shock. Dale Earnhardt Sr., one of the most iconic and respected drivers in the sport's history, lost his life on the final lap. He wasn't just a driver, he was a symbol. Nicknamed the Intimidator, Earnhardt had built a reputation for toughness, aggression, and absolute determination. That day didn't just mark the end of a race, it marked the end of an era. Dale Earnhardt wasn't born into fame, he built it from the ground up. Born in Kannapolis, North Carolina in 1951, racing ran in his blood. His father, Ralph Earnhardt, was a skilled driver and mechanic, but he didn't exactly encourage Dale to follow in his footsteps. Still, Dale dropped out of school in the ninth grade to chase his dream. He worked odd jobs, scraped by, and poured everything into racing. His father passed away in 1973, long before Dale became a household name, but that loss only seemed to drive him harder. His first NASCAR Cup race came in 1975. He didn't win, but it was a start. By 1979, he had a full-time ride and won his first race. That same year, he earned Rookie of the Year honors. In 1980, he took home his first championship. It was a rare achievement, winning Rookie of the Year and a championship back-to-back. His success wasn't a fluke. He kept pushing, kept winning, and kept building a legacy that would put him side by side with the legends of the sport. Over the years, Earnhardt became known for his fearless driving style. He wasn't afraid to rattle fenders or trade paint. If you were in his way, you were probably going to get bumped. Fans loved it. Drivers feared it. That's how he earned the nickname the Intimidator. He didn't just race, he dominated. He won 7 championships, tying the great Richard Petty. In 1998, after 20 tries, he finally won the Daytona 500. That victory, after years of frustration, felt like destiny. But Earnhardt wasn't just about aggression. Over time, he built strong relationships with other drivers, supported young talent, and even owned his own racing team. His son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., followed in his footsteps, adding even more meaning to his presence on the track. Dale Sr. had become more than a driver. He was a mentor, a team owner, a father, and the face of NASCAR. That made what happened in 2001 all the more painful. During the final lap of the Daytona 500, Earnhardt was doing something he had done many times: blocking. He was protecting the lead for his team, helping Michael Waltrip and Dale Jr. hold first and second place. As the cars flew through the final turns, Earnhardt's car made contact with Sterling Marlin's, causing him to lose control. His car slid across the track, clipped the apron, and was struck by Ken Schrader's vehicle. The force of the collision sent Earnhardt's car straight into the concrete wall at high speed. At first, it didn't look as bad as some of the terrifying crashes fans had seen before. NASCAR crashes are intense, but many drivers walk away from them. This one looked survivable, until it wasn't. Medical crews rushed to the car. There was no response. He was quickly transported to Halifax Medical Center, but it was too late. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was pronounced dead at the age of 49. The racing world was in disbelief. Fans wept. Drivers were stunned. Broadcasters couldn't find the words. This was supposed to be a day of celebration. Waltrip had won his first Daytona 500. Dale Jr. had finished right behind him. But the joy was swallowed by tragedy. NASCAR lost one of its greatest drivers, and millions lost a hero. The cause of death was a basilar skull fracture. It's a deadly injury that occurs at the base of the skull, often leading to instant death. What made it even more heartbreaking was that this wasn't the first time it had happened. Just months earlier, 3 other drivers, Adam Petty, Kenny Irwin, and Tony Roper, had died from the same kind of injury. The signs were there. The risks were known. But nothing had been done to change it, until now. The investigation into Earnhardt's crash revealed several shocking details. His seatbelt had failed under pressure, allowing his body to move too much inside the car. His chin struck the steering wheel. His open-face helmet rotated forward, exposing the back of his skull. And unlike some drivers at the time, Earnhardt wasn't wearing a head and neck restraint. It was a combination of small factors that led to one massive, irreversible tragedy. That crash didn't just take Dale Earnhardt's life. It forced NASCAR to look in the mirror. For years, safety had been talked about, but real change had been slow. Earnhardt's death changed everything. It was a turning point. Within days, teams began making safety upgrades, better seats, stronger restraints, more protection. The culture started to shift. What had once been seen as overcautious or even weak was now essential. NASCAR went further. In 2002, it opened the Research and Development Center, dedicated to making cars and tracks safer. New rules and standards were introduced. One of the most important changes was the introduction of the Hans device, a head and neck restraint that prevents the kind of fatal movement that killed Earnhardt. Though it had faced resistance before, it quickly became mandatory. Tracks began, installing safer barriers, walls that absorb energy instead of transferring it straight into the car. Harness systems were upgraded from 5-point to 6, 7, and even 9-point configurations. Driver seats were redesigned, and drivers were moved closer to the center of the car to keep them away from side impacts. The rules were changed to prevent dangerous racing back to the start-finish line during cautions. Every detail was examined. Every angle was improved. The results have been stunning. Since Dale Earnhardt's death, there hasn't been a single fatality in NASCAR's top 3 series. Not one. It's a statistic that speaks volumes. His death wasn't in vain. It triggered a transformation that made the sport safer for everyone. Drivers, crews, and fans. But Earnhardt's impact wasn't just in the safety changes. His presence still looms large in NASCAR. His number 3 car is still iconic. His name is still chanted. His influence is still felt. Drivers like Kevin Harvick, who stepped into Earnhardt's seat at Richard Childress Racing, carried forward the standard of toughness and skill. Dale Earnhardt Jr. not only became one of NASCAR's most popular drivers, but also used his platform to continue the push for safety and innovation. Earnhardt's personality off the track was just as powerful. He was fiercely private, but loyal to those close to him. He mentored younger drivers, managed his own team, and supported charities. He balanced the fierce competitor on race day with the thoughtful family man and businessman behind the scenes. He knew the risks of the sport, but he also believed in responsibility, both to win and to lead. What makes his story even more meaningful is the way the fans embraced him. He didn't win every race and he didn't always play nice, but people respected his honesty. He was real. You didn't have to wonder what Dale Earnhardt was thinking. He showed it with every lap, every pass, and every battle on the track. Even now, more than 2 decades later, his presence is still felt every race weekend. Whether it's a sticker on a car, a throwback paint scheme, or a mention during a broadcast, his legacy is woven into the very fabric of the sport. NASCAR has changed, but it hasn't forgotten. Dale Earnhardt's life was one of ambition, heart, and courage. His death was a moment of immense loss, but it sparked something greater, a movement that continues to protect lives today. The safety innovations that followed didn't just make racing better. They saved lives. And that's a legacy far bigger than any trophy or title. Fans still share stories about watching Earnhardt race, about what it felt like to see that black number 3 car charging through the field. They remember his wins, his losses, his attitude, and the way he made every race feel like it mattered. And they know that NASCAR is safer today because of him. If you made it this far, you know this wasn't just a story about racing. It's a story about a man who gave everything to his sport and whose final race changed the future. Dale Earnhardt Sr. didn't just leave behind stats. He left behind a legacy. One that lives on in every driver who straps in every fan who watches from the stands, and in every safety feature that protects lives today. If you found this story moving or learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe for more powerful stories just like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.